I always get questions in social media, on Facebook, asking me, Doc, yung aso ko kasi kamot ng kamot, ano yung gagawin ko? So there is no one answer to that. And in fact, ang common sinasagot ko lang dyan is, have them seen by a veterinarian. So today, we are going to discuss 10 reasons why your dog is constantly scratching and biting himself. Welcome back, guys. My name is Doc Ferdz, and every week we post videos, cases, topics, and tips on how to better take care of your fur babies. And this week we are going to give you 10 reasons why your dog is constantly scratching and biting himself. But before we proceed to that, please hit like, subscribe, and the bell button so that you get updated for whenever we post new videos in our YouTube channel. We are on Facebook, follow us there. Doc Ferdz Animal Wellness Center, on Instagram too, Doc Ferdz Animal Wellness Center, and my personal Instagram, Ferdz. Now, on with our topic. I know how you feel when your dog is constantly scratching and biting himself. And you couldn't find neither the underlying reason nor the solutions to such problems. Why? Because there are several reasons why your dog may have excessive scratching. So I will reveal the 10 most popular reasons for this abnormality and several treatments you can take to tackle the problem. However, it is always advisable to consult a veterinarian if your pet is scratching, licking, or biting excessively. Notably, if you notice your canine is scratching its mouth. Number 1, dry skin. Ito, yung result ng several factors. So dry skin is actually a clinical sign or a result of several factors including dietary deficits and minor dehydrations. Yung puppies or dogs living in poor humidity conditions are likewise more vulnerable to these problems. If your dog suffers from dry skin, you can soon notice signs of flaky scales, chapped complexion, and extra itchiness. Number 2, allergic reactions. Usually, dietary and skin allergies are common triggers of skin problems in canines. Unlike people who sneeze or have a runny nose or stuffy nose when they have minor allergies, yung mga dogs natin, they frequently have itchiness, pangate, no? The irritating issue about food allergies is that they may occur at any moment. Because the defensive mechanism is caused by frequent contact, a dog that has always consumed the same food might unexpectedly have allergic reactions. External factors including dirt, house mites, dust mites, molds could also trigger persistent itchiness. In addition, some allergies, specifically food allergies, might induce itching at specific periods of the year. Number 3. Fleas. Fleas are parasites that enjoy animal furs and will continually nibble on your pet's body. Other than itchiness, itong fleas na ito, yung parasitation tends to trigger some of the allergic responses. We call it flea allergic dermatitis, no? Fleas aren't invincible. Makikita mo yan. So even though you can't spot them, doesn't imply they are not found. Why? Because 90% of their time is devoted outside of your dog's body. Doon sila naglilay ng eggs all across the home, so you may not detect them until the condition has progressed to a severe level. So tandaan niyo na, pagkita niyo to sa dog niyo, sabi niyo, Doc, wala naman ako nakikitang fleas. 90% of the time, kakain lang yan, sisipsip ng dugo, and then lalaglag na para magparami, mangitlog at magtago doon sa kung saan-saan sa bahay natin. So kahit wala kayo nakikita, sometimes you see flea dirt and sometimes you see the effects of flea allergy dermatitis in your dog's skin. Number 4, mites, hanip sa Tagalog, no? Mites are another frequent parasite that may damage a dog skin. They are tiny and unlike fleas, they are not visible. Ano yan? Microscopic, no? So yung vets natin, when you bring your dog or your pet to the clinic, they will do a skin scraping and look at them under the microscope to find if your dog is positive for mites. Yet their consequences are typically more visible as mites lead to severe itchiness, fur losses, blisters, and skin problems, also known as mange. Number 5. Ticks, garapata. Also another parasite might trigger itching a particular region. So usually sa in between the withers, sa base ng tail, sa pagitan ng toes, no? Sometimes sa loob ng tenga, iba nga sa mata eh. Ensure that you remove both the head and the body of the tick simultaneously or else an infection may occur. Number 6, anxiety or stress. So if pooches feel anxious, they frequently scratch. Thus, if you witness your canine having itchy skin, you should consider it as an option also. This is most frequent in short bursts of irritation, particularly if your pup or your dog wishes to play or go for a stroll. Excessive stress in these cases might produce persistent scratching, which is a type of obsessive behavior that can result in hot spots or irritated skin. Siyempre, kamot sila ng kamot, nagkakaroon ng break of skin, nagkakaroon ng bacterial infection. If this scenario happens, you need to consult a veterinarian about your dog's uneasiness immediately, since obsessive itching can lead to significant harm in a short period of time. Number 7, hormonal problems. A hormonal discrepancy in your canine might make him slightly prone to skin diseases. Indeed, skin scratching might result from a decrease in thyroid hormones, for instance. You might spot abnormalities in the surface or color of your pet's irritated skin in addition to itching. In this case, a blood test is what vets typically use to identify hormonal-related issues. Number 8, nutritional deficiencies in a dog with itchy skin. So if your dog food is deficient in specific components, he may have persistent itchiness. Some skin conditions result from shortages in zinc, copper, and omega-3 fatty acids. For instance, a poor quality pet diet is generally the root of nutrient deficits. Although the optimal long-term solution is to change to properly nutritious and healthy eating, supplements can also help. At the same time, nutritional deficits could occur due to health disorders that induce digestive problems. Number 9, skin infections. Itching can derive from some skin illnesses. Scratching and lapping around the paws or ears, for instance, are common symptoms of a yeast infection. Impetigo, which involves blisters, and folliculitis are two more popular types of skin diseases. Number 10, genetic disorders. Some breeds are more prone to genetic disorders that trigger itchiness. These disorders are frequently the result of generations of inbreeding. For example, the Cavalier King Charles Spaniel is among the most prevalent instances. By the age of 6, up to 70% of Cavalier King Charles exhibit symptoms of a disease known as syringomyelia, which damages the spinal cord. This disorder will induce persistent itching or itchiness owing to nerve fiber injury, varying from moderate skin scratching to extreme blistering. How do we treat your dog's excessive scratching? Intervention for skin scratching is dependent on the underlying causes of the condition. Kaya hindi ko masagot right away kung anong gagawin sa mga aso nyo na kamot ng kamot or kate ng kate, which is why it's always advisable to seek the assistance of a veterinarian initially. The positive part is that most itching reasons may get properly controlled after your canine has been thoroughly diagnosed. Kailangan ng thorough diagnosis, clinical signs, and visit to the veterinarian. We are going to mention some of the more frequent scratching solutions and cures. Number 1, prescribed medications. Mga medications na ibibigay sa inyo ng veterinarian nyo. A few medicines may be effective in treating skin itching. If your puppy or your dog experiences allergies, your veterinarian might recommend antihistamines or corticosteroids. These can give temporary alleviation but do not address the root cause. Many drugs might be harmful to your dog's condition if used for an extended period of time. Thus, consult your veterinarian about other solutions, dietary adjustments, and supplements that might reduce the number of prescribed drugs needed to cure your dog. Antibiotics or different medication might also be necessary for canines suffering from skin infections. So, also consider a low allergy eating plan. Yung mga hypoallergenic diet, no? Changing your pet's food product isn't always effective enough to alleviate an allergic response. But your dog could suffer from allergies triggered by a specific ingredient that might or might not be available in other brands. Alternatively, you'll have to change a restricted ingredients diet. Ideally, one that contains some proteins that your canine hasn't before consumed. Kaya minsan nakikita natin poultry or kaya chicken or kaya beef, no? Kung nagkakaroon sila ng problema dyan, we shift to lemon rice, you shift to other types of beef, veal, duck, salmon, all these proteins na hindi pa niya na-consume before, no? Yung raw foods naman are also an excellent instance of a low allergen kasi wala na siyang halo raw food, karne, yun lang. At saka hindi siya masyadong processed. Raw foods are an excellent instance of a low allergen restricted eating. So you can choose an eating plan that is low in processing and contains few yet nutrient-packed foods. Ang problema lang dito, medyo time-consuming at magastos, no? Kung hindi pa rin natatanggal dyan or hindi pa rin nawawala yung pamangate ng inyong aso, after trying a low allergy menu, he might react to something in the surroundings. Ibig sabihin, allergic reactions. An allergy test could occasionally assist in pinpointing what's triggering the condition. Although, avoiding allergens including smoking, fragrances, and deodorizers may bring some comfort, no? Ito pa isa, get rid of parasites. Tanggalin yung mga parasites na nandun sa katawan. So, yung mga kasama niya, ticks, fleas, mites, no? So, if your dog or if your pooch suffers from fleas, begin by administering your canine flea-killing methods frequently, usually monthly basis yan This measure should get rid of any remaining fleas and put an end to the discomfort. On the other hand, flea eggs could remain for weeks and sometimes nga for a year, whole year. So, steering clear of an outbreak might take a while. Also, you'll have to clean the entire house, including the basement and vehicles or any other cats or dogs that is present in the household. Sa cases naman ng mites, using an antiparasitic cleanser is usually the solution, no? Titimplahin lang yan, i-spray mo doon sa environment and yeah, you can have dramatic effects. Many pet shops sell them, but it's advisable to check with your veterinarian first before you make sure you acquire the appropriate one. In the worst situation, a few canines may require medicine to combat a mite infection. Medyo malaking problema, depende sa kung gaano ka-severe yung problem. Ito pa, reduce your dog's contact to airborne allergens. So, allergies induced by airborne factors could be tricky to treat. Medyo mahirap lang i-treat ito. Kasi yung paano mo iiwasan yung pollen, yung mold spores, and yeast, lahat yan can or may cause itching but they are improbable to prevent entirely. Pero, there are several measures you could take to restrict your pet's contact to such factors. So, ano yan? Having, let's say, purifiers in your house, for instance, can help to minimize the amount of harmful airborne particles. Periodic cleaning using HEPA filter could also help to improve the indoor air quality. Lastly, heavy vacuuming if your house is carpeted o kaya yung sa bed na tinutulugan niya, yung cracks and crevices around, vacuum them. Heavy vacuuming can help, no? Dogs crave activities, thus you can keep these animals free from all irritants, but you can control the places and areas they contact. If your pet is sensitive to mold cells, for instance, they then stay away dun sa mga wet, wooded regions. Also, pwede nyong suotan ng sapatos. Dog footwear, available yan sa online and in dog shops all over the Philippines. And outerwear can keep allergens from getting in touch with the skin. So, a few dogs unfortunately do not want to wear them. Iinis, tatanggalin, hindi sila maglalakad. Therefore, you might have to employ a reward-based training to encourage your dog to embrace yung clothes. Ito pa, one of the solutions, protect hot spots. Although the main objective is to relieve your dog's scratching, you may want to safeguard specific regions during the treatment procedure. This is specifically critical if your dog develops hot spots. No? Ito yung moist dermatitis, no? Which are reddish, unpleasant, and inflamed blotches of skin. There are various methods for discouraging itching or nibbling in specific locations. In addition to restraining your canine when he is about to scratch, you may utilize a specific collar to minimize contacts. Your veterinarian may also advise you to apply a wrap to the affected region para hindi niya maabot. Yung nakakita na kayo, syempre yung Elizabethan collar, no? That can also help, especially on those active days. Use a moisturizing wash to shower your pooch. Showering your dog is an excellent method to eliminate allergens na dumidikit doon sa katawan niya that are very stubborn, while also eliminating loose hairs kasi mas lumalamig yung katawan nila, yung threshold nila sa pangangati, sa itching, tumataas. Solutions containing simple components such as aloe vera and coconut oil could be quite beneficial in curing these problems. The issue is that most dog cleansers are dehydrating to the skin, which can cause cracking and discomfort, which can cause even more itching. So instead, choose a moisturizing wash, which will leave your dog's skin smooth and moisturized. Cleaning your dog too frequently naman might create additional dehydration. Try not to shower your canine too much. Siguro, kapag may condition, twice a week would be best. And furthermore, kung dry na yung skin nila, do not blow dry. Dry mo lang ng towel, and then let them shake it, and that's it. No? Now you know the main reasons why your dog is constantly scratching and biting himself and some possible solutions you could employ to alleviate the situation. Yet, as mentioned several times in the post, it is always best to get a diagnosis and prescription from a qualified veterinarian. Thus, pay a visit to the vet before deciding to go for any of the solutions on your own. So these are the more common products that we have in the market today. Frontline spray for ticks and fleas. No? It's very safe to give even to puppies 3 years old and above. No? As early as 3 years of age, you can give this. Spray them, make sure you wet thoroughly the whole body. That's it. For it to become effective, you have 1 month protection against ticks and fleas. Ito yung mga topicals natin, Advocate, Spot On, that you give on the back of the dog. Yung iba, ayaw nila ng spray because kapag masyadong madalas pinapaliguan yung aso na yung efficacy yung bumababa. Yung mga Spot Ons and sprays, they're more common then. No? Now we have the oral medications for ticks and fleas, mites, and included na rin dito yung intestinal parasites, even heartworm for NexGard, Simparica Trio. Yung Bravecto is given quarterly, so you only get to give it to your dog 4 times a year. Whereas with this 2, monthly. With shampoos, we have the medicated shampoos for yeast infection. So we have this one, fungal infection can help. And also all these medicated shampoos. But before you proceed, please ask your veterinarian for the proper shampoo that is needed for your dog. Huwag kayo mag-self-medicate. Hindi maganda yan. Self-medicating may be dangerous, and for all you know, you're just wasting your money treating what you think is the condition when in fact it's the other, or it's a different case or problem. So make sure you pay a visit to your veterinarian to find out exactly what is the diagnosis and you can proceed with the proper treatment. I hope you learned something today. If you have questions, reactions, please use the comment section below and please follow our page naman. Recommend nyo doon sa mga friends nyo. This is Doc Fred Stresho and see you again next week.